Got a quick one for you today. It's the Nitecore NU05 version 2. The company sent us in for review, so I'm just going to give you a quick overview of it. We'll have a quick look at the specs as per usual, and then later on I'll share a few of my thoughts on how I might improve a couple of areas with this product. One of the reasons I want to look at this is because it's such a small and compact unit. It looks to be quite a useful device overall. There's the Type A to Type C charging cable, and this is the bike mounting kit. You've got a plastic mount with the silicone rings to attach that to the post, or indeed the handlebars. You can put them at either end really, or on the frame of the bike. The idea of that is just to simply wrap them around and the hooks hold it in place. Though you might wonder if this is going to be good enough to use on a bicycle. You might be surprised at the output with this, but we'll get on to that later on. This is the headband that's included. Nothing wrong with the quality on this. It's pretty similar to other Nitecore ones, but it isn't as wide. But it does do the job, and you've got a plastic retainer there which helps to hold the position of the headband in place. It works perfectly fine. You don't necessarily have to wear this on your head, and I'll show you some examples later on. First thing you'll notice with this light is just how small it is, and the weight is quite light too. It's just over 11 grams. Body material is mostly polycarbonate, so that's pretty strong. The button on this is also rubber or silicone, and that's slightly recessed. And on the back, that's the clip. You can see they've got a different design there, partly to hold it in when the headband's on, but it also clips into that bike bracket. Nice thick cover on this. There's your Type C charging port, so that's easy enough to get open. And I'll just show you attaching this to the headband. So once you've pushed it up, you can see that it does hold into place, so it won't slip around. And that's partly because of the molded plastic that they've got there. It sort of holds it there and prevents it from moving around. UI on this is pretty straightforward. To do a battery check, hold it in for around about 1 second. You get 1 to 3 flashes giving you an indication of the battery capacity left. A single press turns it on, and then if you press it within a couple of seconds, it will just continue to cycle through the different modes, and I've put them up on screen for you. If you leave it for around about 3 seconds or longer, then the next press will switch it off, and that's how they've worked the UI on that, and it works pretty well. A couple of improvements maybe that I might have made to that. There's the lockout mode. When it's on, just push and hold it in for about a second, and then you'll see that lock. Haven't really found that to be a problem myself. It's a fair amount of pressure that you need on that, but if you are stashing it away somewhere, it's a good option to have. Here's the charging test that I did. It took just over an hour and 15 minutes to charge. Capacity came in at 145, which is slightly above the specification. You can charge this and use it at the same time in all the different modes, and that is quite useful. Here's the user manual. I'll put that on screen for you so you can have a quick look at that. I'll just show you attaching it to a bike. Now it's really up to you where you want to put it. In this case, I'll just show you putting it onto the handlebars at the front. Once you've got that bracket into place, all you need to do then is just slide on the light, and it clips into place and it locks. You need to actually lift that up to unlock it and pull it out. There's no chance of that sliding out on its own. In terms of how strong is the clip, it seems okay. I'm just going to have to use it for an extended period of time to see how that holds up. Attaching it onto the back, it's up to you where you want to put this. I've just put it onto the main frame. If you wanted to, you could also put it under the seat. I think it's a pretty nice option to have this bike kit. You can get this light just on its own without any of the other accessories. Personally, I think it is worthwhile getting the kit. It's not that much more expensive, and it just gives you a few more options how you can use the light. If you needed to, you could just run this off the power bank and get much longer run times. You've got about an hour and 45 minutes run time at 40 lumens, which is the main output on the white LED. It's difficult to do any real beam shots with this other than to just give you a general idea of the output. It's quite a wide floody beam on this because of the diffused plastic on the front. All I can say is there's enough output here to cycle or see where you're going even in complete darkness. tint on this is on the warm side, but I'll talk about a couple of things that I would change. I'd like a mode memory when you switch it on. I would also like to have a static red mode. We only have flashing ones. It's useful as an emergency head torch or backup. You can take this with you everywhere because it takes up virtually no space at all. Despite a few changes that I would make to the design, I do think overall this is definitely a very useful product to have around.